Hi guys, how you doing? A lot of you had trouble with the last question on the last homework. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve it for you, help you guys understand it a little bit. So basically what happens is we need to get this to be a system of linear equations. So we have in this situation two unknowns. Let's read the question real quick. A laboratory uses liquid nitrogen tanks of two different sizes. The combined volume of 3 large tanks and 2 small tanks is 24 liters. The combined volume of 2 large tanks and 3 small tanks is 21 liters. What is the volume of each tank? So I have two unknowns. I have the volume of the large tank and the volume of the small tank. So an unknown quantity in mathematics, we just use a variable for. So we don't know the large tank, so we'll just call that x. We don't know the small tank volume, so we'll just call that a y. And what we can do is using the variables instead of the word large tank, we can create an equation. So we have 3 large tanks, we'll just call that 3x. And we have 2 small tanks, so we'll call that 2y. And that has a volume of 24 liters. Okay. The next one we have is 2 large tanks and 3 small tanks. So 2 large tanks plus 3 small tanks, that equals 21. Okay. So what we need to do is find a common coefficient here so we can eliminate whichever one we'd like to eliminate. So let's get the second one to be, let's get the second one to be common. So it will be 6. So to get this to be 6, we multiply by 3. And to get this to be 6, we're going to multiply this one by 2. So now we just distribute through. 3 times 3x is 9x plus 3 times 2y is 6y. And 3 times 24 is 72. Now we do the same thing down here. So 2 times 2x is 4x plus 2 times 3y is 6y. And that equals 2 times 21, which happens to be 42. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through, and now we have common coefficient. So we're going to solve. So how do I eliminate a 6y and a 6y? Well, I need to subtract the two of them. So we'll subtract these. So 9 minus 4x is 5x. 6y minus 6y is 0. 72 minus 42 is 30. All right, so I divide both sides by 5. And x equals 6. Okay, so my large tanks are 6. Now I just substitute that into one of the equations. I'll just do it to this one because I don't have to multiply 6 as much. Doesn't really matter. Just sometimes 12 is a little easier to do in your head than 18. That equals 21. So 2 times 6 is 12 plus 3y equals 21. Subtract 12 from both sides. I'm going to come over here. So 3y equals 9. Divide by 3. Y equals 3. Okay, so the large tanks are 6 liters. The small tanks are 3 liters. And if we just plug those in, it will make sense. So 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. 18 plus 6 is 24. That works out. And this one, 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 12 plus 9 is 21. Hopefully this helps.